What's going on, guys? Dylan back like I never left. Today's a different kind of video for you guys. Actually, I'm injured, and I've been injured for a while now. I think it first started June 5th, actually my birthday. I pulled my inner groin on my left side, and I've been dealing with it for over 3 months now, taking time off, trying to play, trying to be tournament ready, taking time off, tweaking it a bit, taking time off, playing again. And I'd say it's hurt my game a little bit in terms of I just can't put as many hours in as I'd like to, just because I have to be very conscious about it. I think I've isolated the issue to just being really weak in the hips, and so just overcompensating in different areas. And I think I'm almost back to 100%. I played a full tournament last weekend and actually played pretty well. But this video is going to be more about how I've been kind of dealing with that injury and how I've put even more focus on my warm-up. I've always been super into stretching before and after, dynamics before, statics after, like most tennis players do. In this video, I'll be showing you guys exactly what my warm-up routine is and how I usually do my warm-up and all the nuances behind that. Most of the stuff that I use for my warm-up routine I have gotten from ADV Tennis. They have a really nice fitness training bag, and I'll be showing you guys all the stuff that I use in this bag. And honestly, this bag is perfect. I use it for pretty much anything, and I'll leave links down in the description for that as well. So I'll be kind of doing a little bit of a voiceover over my warm-up routine. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll get better at videos like this. Most of my channel has just been me putting up a camera up on a fence and playing tennis. So I'm gonna try to do more videos like this where it's just me talking, and videos of things outside of just tennis matches and points. So if you guys have any feedback, I'd greatly appreciate that. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, it really helps me out. It really helps the video get to more and more people because the YouTube algorithm will promote it more. Don't forget that subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoy. So I like to start off every warm-up session with about 30 seconds to maybe a minute and a half of jump roping. Just kind of gets the heart moving, gets the body ready, tells the body, okay, we're about to do something active. Gets the calves going as well, because I feel like not a lot of people focus on warming up their calves, which is super important in tennis. Then I like to go straight into just running some laps around the court, maybe back and forth, really get the body going, starting off really slow. And then I go straight into lateral lunges. And you really want to make sure you're getting really low on these lateral lunges, because on a tennis court, you're not standing straight up when you're doing these lateral lunges, and I probably could have gotten even lower than I did there. Then we go straight into karaoke, trying to get the hips loose, get the core moving, just kind of get the feet active, getting the footwork going. Next, it's important to really get your hamstrings loose, because if your hamstrings are tight, you're not going to be explosive on that first step. And we all know tennis is very important to be explosive on that first step. Going off of that, we have more hamstring exercises. People call these toe touches, tabletops, whatever you want to call them, just really working on getting those hamstrings loose. Again, we're doing dynamic stretches here to get the body moving first while we stretch, so we warm up the body slowly. If we were to do static stretches, you really don't want to be stretching a cold muscle, so stretching while you're moving, dynamic stretches. Next, we're going to go straight into side lunges. These are really important for me just to get that groin area loose and that inner thigh part loose. Really want to take your time here and really make sure you're getting low and taking care of your body here. You'll notice a crossover step that I've added into this routine. This really helps me start loosening up my IT bands, and my IT bands are usually very tight. And I'll go over some other things you can do to get your IT bands loose as well. Next are your lunges, your standard lunges. I like to do these with a little twist involved to really get the core activated. You also see that I do another little stretch here when I go back that really loosens up the side of your abs, so you really get ready to serve and really can be explosive on that first movement. Here I'm just making sure that my quads are really loose, and my warm-up routine changes day to day, just kind of based on what I feel needs extra attention. So here I'm really making sure my quads are loose. After I get my quads loose, I go straight into Frankensteins or leg kicks, whatever you want to call them, just to really make sure that that hamstring is loose and really has a good range of motion. I then go into my butt stretches where I just kind of pull my leg up. It really gets the glute kind of really loose and warm, and also stretches out that hip slowly. And most tennis players have weak hips, so this is really important to get going. If you're doing your dynamic stretches properly, you should have a little bit of a sweat going, your body should be warm. Here I am just catching my breath a little bit before I get into my next exercise. I mentioned earlier that I was warming up the IT bands earlier with a crossover step. This is the IT band stretch I like to do at the very end just to make sure that those are very, very loose. Sometimes afterwards I'll also roll them out with my roller, and I'll have a link in the description for the roller that I use. As I mentioned before, mostly tennis players have pretty weak hips, and here's an exercise I've been doing a lot recently, just trying to strengthen my hips, and this also helps warm up your hips. I usually like to do about 10 each side, and this band comes in the ADV Tennis bag, the training bag kit, along with the jump rope that I used earlier, and it's really, really beneficial just to get your hips moving, and you can do a lot with this band. Here you can see I got interrupted a bit. One of my training partners was near the courts that I was using that day, and of course had to say hi, gotta be a nice guy. Then here I finished up the bands on both sides to really get those hips loose and really start strengthening that IT band. Here I'm doing some squats with the band that really helps kind of work on your stability in your core, along with your hips as well, because that band is providing resistance. I then go into some side steps with the band to again start strengthening those hips and try to get those hips ready to play, because you use more hips than you actually know, and you won't realize it until you get hurt, and then you realize, oh wow, it's very, very important that I warm these up. In college, I had a lot of issues with my shoulder, and a lot of it had to do with my service toss. I was hitting the ball way too far behind me instead of tossing the ball out in front. But these are some of the exercises that was recommended to me by the trainers there, and I do these basically every single time before I play tennis. It's really important to warm up that rotator cuff. They always say tennis players usually have bad shoulders because we use a lot of our shoulders, so these exercises are super important. A lot of people only like to warm up their arm that they use to serve with, so their dominant hand. I like to do both because you really do use both, especially if you have a two-handed backhand, and I think it's just good to have overall balance. This band is also included in the ADV Tennis training bag, and like I said, link in description for that as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you watching my warm-up. Hopefully I can fight this injury soon. I'm feeling a little bit better. It's been 3 months. I think I'm about 85% there. Basically went over everything that's in this training bag. I use this thing every single day. Links down in the description, like I said. The one thing I did not mention was this reaction ball. I'll put a link down in the description of some people doing drills with it. It's really, really beneficial, and I'm sure you can hear my dog in the background. But yeah, this is great. I just couldn't get anybody to do it with me to get it on camera, so I'll put a link down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check out my other videos. Peace.